Welcome to the English Pod community. Do you ever wonder what a typical day in the life of a student or worker looks like? How do people manage their time, juggle tasks, and stay motivated? Well, today's episode is going to dive into exactly that. We're going to walk through a day in the life of a student and a worker, sharing some real-life stories and examples. By the end of this episode, you'll have not only improved your listening skills, but also gained some great insights into writing and time management. And hey, if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to press the like button. It helps our community grow and keeps you updated with our daily English practice videos. Let's get started. All right, let me tell you about my friend David. David is a university student, and his day starts pretty early. He wakes up at 6:30 a.m. and right away, he checks his phone to see if he has any messages or important emails. He's got a tight schedule ahead, so he quickly gets up, makes some breakfast, and heads out for class by 8 and 9 a.m. David's typical day involves a lot of moving from one place to another. Between lectures, meetings, and study sessions, he's constantly on the go. But he makes time to grab lunch around noon, where he meets up with his friends or sometimes his wife, Sarah. They chat about their classes, share some jokes, and it's a nice little break from the day. Now, you might think, what's so special about David's day? Well, let's break it down. David is constantly improving his time management skills. He knows when to focus and when to relax. The key to his productivity is knowing when to stop working and when to take a break. A few months ago, David realized he was always feeling tired and stressed out, so he started organizing his day better. He learned to prioritize his most important tasks and set small goals throughout the day. By making a simple change to his routine, he started feeling more in control. But what about the evenings? Well, after class, David usually heads to the library to study for a couple of hours. Around 7 p.m., he returns home, makes dinner, and spends time with his wife. They like to unwind by watching a short TV show or talking about their day. This routine allows David to balance work, studies, and personal time effectively. And guess what? He always makes sure to go to bed at a reasonable hour so that he's ready for the next day. Let's take a look at someone else. Meet Emily, who works as a marketing professional in a big company. Her day starts at 7 a.m., and she's already answering emails before she even leaves for work. She gets dressed quickly, grabs a quick breakfast, and heads to the office. Emily's job involves a lot of meetings, and she spends most of her day brainstorming ideas with her team. In between meetings, she's replying to emails, managing social media campaigns, and working on presentations. For Emily, time management is essential. She always tries to have a to-do list for the day, and she checks it multiple times to stay on track. One of the things she's learned over time is the importance of staying organized. Emily uses an app on her phone to keep track of her tasks, and she checks it whenever she feels like she's getting behind. By the end of the day, she's usually exhausted, but she feels accomplished. Emily believes that having a structured day not only helps her be more productive, but also reduces her stress. After work, Emily enjoys cooking dinner for her husband, Mark. They usually sit down and talk about their day. For Emily, these evening conversations with Mark are a way to unwind and relax. She says it's important to have a support system at home, and spending quality time with her loved ones helps her stay motivated for the next day. Now, let's take a moment to think about your day. Do you have a routine that helps you manage your time? Do you feel like you're always running out of time, or do you feel like you're in control? It's something to consider as you listen to these stories. Learning how to organize your day and prioritize tasks can make a huge difference in how you feel and how productive you are. Remember, listening to real-life stories like these is not just a great way to improve your English listening skills, but also a chance to learn some valuable life lessons. The more you listen, the more you'll pick up on everyday phrases, expressions, and even new vocabulary. If you're new here, welcome to the English Pod community. We upload new videos every day to help you improve your English. Whether you're a beginner or advanced learner, we've got something for everyone. So stick with us and let's improve together. Let's dive a bit deeper into how routines can affect our productivity. We've already looked at David and Emily's daily lives. Now, let's consider another person. Meet John, a freelance graphic designer. John's day doesn't have a set routine like a student or a worker in an office. Instead, he has the freedom to organize his time in a way that fits his projects. His day usually starts at 8 moments a.m. He doesn't have a commute because he works from home, which gives him more time to focus. John starts his day by checking emails from clients. He spends the first couple of hours of the day doing design work and brainstorming ideas for new projects. One thing that makes John's routine unique is that he works in focused bursts. He uses a technique called the Pomodoro technique, where he works for 25 minutes straight, then takes a 5-minute break. After about 4 sessions, he takes a longer break. This method helps him stay fresh and productive. But it's not all work for John. He makes sure to take a proper lunch break. Around 12:30 p.m., he steps away from his desk, makes himself a healthy meal, and enjoys a little downtime. He also tries to go for a walk outside if the weather is nice. After lunch, he often spends the afternoon meeting with clients, discussing designs, and making revisions to his work. By the time evening comes, John wraps up his work and spends the rest of the evening relaxing, sometimes playing a video game or reading a book. What's interesting about John's routine is that, unlike a student or office worker, he has more flexibility, but he's still found a way to structure his day. He knows that without some routine, it can be easy to waste time. So he uses techniques like time blocking and setting clear goals to stay focused and productive. Now, let's take a look at Sarah, a stay-at-home mother. Sarah's day revolves around her family and household responsibilities. She wakes up early, around 6 a.m., to get herself ready for the day. Once her children wake up, Sarah starts making breakfast and preparing their school bags. After sending the kids off to school, Sarah spends the morning doing chores around the house, cleaning, organizing, and doing laundry. But it's not just about household chores. Sarah also manages her time carefully to make sure she has some personal time. At 11 p.m., she spends 30 minutes doing something for herself, like reading a book, doing yoga, or even catching up with a friend on the phone. This small break helps her feel energized for the rest of the day. Once the kids are back home from school, Sarah shifts her focus to helping with homework, preparing dinner, and spending quality time with her family. By 8:12 p.m., when the kids go to bed, Sarah makes sure to take some time to relax before bed. She doesn't like to work late into the night, as she knows that having a proper rest is key to starting the next day right. This balance between family duties and self-care has helped Sarah maintain a peaceful and productive routine. When we think about routines like Sarah's, it's important to note that everyone's day looks different depending on their life situation. Some people have more flexibility, while others have set schedules due to their jobs or school commitments. But the common theme is that everyone needs a plan, a structure, and some time for themselves to stay happy and productive. Now, let's think about your routine. How do you manage your day? Are you someone who prefers a strict schedule, or do you enjoy more freedom in your routine? It's interesting to consider how the choices we make about how we organize our day can have a big impact on how we feel. Whether you're a student, a worker, a stay-at-home parent, or even a freelancer like John, each routine has its challenges and benefits. If you're someone who struggles with managing time, think about how you might try some of these strategies. For instance, if you feel overwhelmed with tasks, try breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps. You could also experiment with taking breaks at regular intervals, like David and John do. This might help you stay focused and avoid burnout. It's all about finding what works best for you and sticking to it. One thing that I've learned over the years is that routines are not just about work. They're about balance. It's not always easy to find that balance, especially if you're juggling a lot of responsibilities. But when you do, it's incredibly rewarding. For example, after a full day of work, I always make sure to leave time to unwind. Whether it's going for a walk or chatting with a friend, these little moments of downtime are essential for recharging and staying motivated. And that's something I want you to think about as you listen to these stories. How can you create a routine that works for you? How can you make time for the things that matter most, whether it's work, study, or personal relaxation? Let's dive deeper into how daily routines can shape our lives and help us stay productive, happy, and focused. Earlier, we talked about different people's routines, but now I want to go into more detail about why these routines work so well for them and how they help manage their time effectively. So, let's continue with some real-life examples and lessons we can learn from them. Let's talk about Michael, a software engineer. Michael's day starts around 6 a.m. He's not the kind of person who can just wake up and start working immediately. No, Michael likes to take some time to ease into his day. After waking up, he spends about 20 minutes meditating, which helps him clear his mind and prepare for the challenges of the day ahead. This small practice makes a huge difference. He says it helps him stay calm and focused, even when work gets stressful. After his meditation, Michael gets up, makes himself a cup of coffee, and checks the weather and his calendar for the day. By 7 a.m., Michael is ready to start his first task of the day. He likes to begin with the most difficult task because he feels more energetic in the morning. He says that by tackling something challenging early on, he feels a sense of accomplishment that helps motivate him for the rest of the day. Michael's job involves a lot of problem solving and deep thinking, so he tries to complete his most complex coding tasks in the first few hours of the day. This might seem difficult to some people, but Michael has learned that his brain works best in the morning and he uses that time wisely. At around 10 a.m., Michael takes a short break. He steps away from his desk, stretches, and walks around the office or outside. This helps him avoid the feeling of being stuck in front of a screen for too long. Taking breaks is an essential part of Michael's routine. He follows the Pomodoro technique, where he works in short, focused bursts of about 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute break. After working for about 2 hours, he takes a longer break to eat lunch. For lunch, Michael likes to eat something healthy to keep his energy up. He usually has a salad with some grilled chicken or fish. This isn't just about staying healthy. He believes that eating the right foods helps him stay focused and productive throughout the day. It's all part of a balanced routine. Work hard, but also take care of your body. After lunch, Michael returns to work, and his afternoon is usually filled with meetings or collaborating with other team members. He spends a lot of time discussing code, reviewing projects, and solving problems with his colleagues. Even though Michael's workday is intense, he knows how important it is to finish strong. By 5 p.m., he starts wrapping up his tasks for the day, but instead of just logging off and forgetting about his work, he spends the last 30 minutes reviewing what he's done. This review helps him track his progress and plan for the next day. Michael believes that leaving work with a sense of accomplishment is essential. It helps him feel like he's moving forward, even when he faces difficult challenges. After work, Michael tries to disconnect from work entirely. He enjoys going to the gym for an hour, which helps him relieve stress. Exercise is a big part of his routine, as it helps him clear his mind and stay healthy. Michael says that exercising after work is like pressing the reset button on his day. It helps him relax and feel good about himself. After the gym, he usually spends some time with his wife, Rachel. They enjoy cooking dinner together and having a quiet evening. Michael values these moments with Rachel because it helps him recharge and spend quality time with her. By 10 p.m., Michael is winding down for bed. He tries to go to bed early because he knows that sleep is key to having a productive day tomorrow. He reads a book before going to sleep, which helps him relax even more. Michael's daily routine is a great example of how structure and balance can help someone achieve their goals and feel happy. He doesn't just focus on work. He also makes time for rest, exercise, and relationships, all of which are essential for a healthy and productive life. Now, let's move on to a different kind of routine, one that belongs to a teacher named Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a high school teacher, and her day is often very busy and full of interaction with students. Her day starts at 5:30 a.m. because she likes to have a quiet time before school begins. She uses this time to go over lesson plans, grade papers, and sometimes just relax with a cup of coffee. Elizabeth's routine is important because teaching requires a lot of energy and focus, and she needs to be prepared for the day ahead. By 7 a.m., Elizabeth is ready to leave for school. Her commute is short, so she usually arrives by 7:30 a.m. The first thing she does when she arrives is check her classroom. She makes sure everything is in order, checks the materials for her classes, and takes a few minutes to clear her mind before students start arriving. Elizabeth teaches English, so her mornings are filled with lessons on literature, grammar, and writing. She loves teaching, but it can be tiring, especially when she's trying to make lessons engaging and interactive. During her lunch break, Elizabeth tries to relax by reading or catching up on some personal tasks. She says it's important to take a mental break from teaching, even if it's just for a little while. After lunch, her afternoon classes begin. Elizabeth usually teaches for the rest of the day, and by 3:30 p.m., her teaching responsibilities are finished. However, she doesn't immediately go home. She spends some time after school grading assignments, helping students, and preparing materials for the next day. This is part of the routine that ensures she's always ready for her classes. After work, Elizabeth enjoys spending time with her husband, Andrew. They like to go for walks, cook dinner together, and talk about their day. Elizabeth values this time because it helps her relax and reconnect with her family after a long day of teaching. She also makes sure to exercise regularly. Whether it's a walk after dinner or a quick workout in the evening, Elizabeth believes that physical activity is important for maintaining her energy levels. By 9 p.m., Elizabeth is winding down her day. She doesn't work late into the night because she knows that rest is important for her performance the next day. Before going to bed, she spends some time reading a book or listening to calming music. This helps her relax and get a good night's sleep, so she's ready for the next day. Elizabeth's routine is a great example of how structure can make a big difference in someone's life, especially in a demanding job like teaching. She manages to balance work, personal time, and relaxation, which helps her feel energized and motivated every day. Now, let's think about your own routine. Do you have a specific routine that helps you stay focused and productive? Are there areas in your life where you could improve your time management, like David, Emily, Michael, or Elizabeth? You might not have the same lifestyle as these people, but their routines can still give you helpful ideas for organizing your day. Let's continue by looking at even more examples of how different people manage their daily routines. These real life stories give us not only an insight into how others organize their days, but also important lessons that we can learn and apply to our own lives. Each person's routine is unique and reflects their responsibilities, goals, and values. But no matter the job or lifestyle, the key to managing a successful day lies in structure, balance, and consistency. Meet Helen, a busy lawyer who specializes in corporate law. Helen's day starts at 5:30 a.m., and while many might consider that an early start, she's always felt that the quiet hours of the morning give her the best chance to focus and get ahead of the day. Helen has 2 young children, so she wakes up early to ensure she has some time to herself before the chaos of the day begins. The first thing she does is drink a glass of water and prepare a healthy breakfast, usually something like oatmeal, with fruits or scrambled eggs. Helen knows that a healthy breakfast fuels her mind and body for the busy day ahead. By 6 a.m., she's ready to begin working on her most important task of the day. For Helen, this might involve reviewing case files, writing legal briefs, or preparing for meetings. The first few hours are focused on deep, uninterrupted work. As a lawyer, attention to detail is crucial, and Helen likes to take this quiet time to ensure that she's on top of her work. She feels most productive in the morning, and that's why she reserves this time for the most complex and important tasks. At around 8 a.m., Helen's children wake up, and she spends the next hour getting them ready for school. Breakfast time is a family affair, and she enjoys this part of her day, even though it's a bit chaotic. After seeing the kids off to school, she heads to her office. The rest of her day involves meeting clients, attending court sessions, negotiating deals, and reviewing. One of the ways Helen stays on top of her workload is by using a digital planner. She plans out her day in 30-minute increments, which helps her avoid feeling overwhelmed. Helen also takes breaks every couple of hours to stretch or walk around the office. She believes that taking short breaks throughout the day helps her stay focused and prevents burnout. During her lunch break, she makes sure to eat something nutritious, usually a salad or a sandwich with lean protein. She doesn't use lunch as an opportunity to work or check emails, because she knows that taking a break is necessary for mental clarity. In the afternoons, Helen has more meetings and client calls. She also spends time reviewing contracts and preparing documents for court. Despite the fast pace of her work, Helen makes sure to leave the office by 5 p.m. as she knows the importance of spending time with her family. Once she gets home, she helps her children with their homework, prepares dinner, and enjoys a quiet evening with her husband, George. They like to take a walk around the neighborhood after dinner, which helps them both unwind and relax after a long day. Helen's evening routine is important to her, as it allows her to relax before bed. By 9:30 p.m., she's winding down and ready for bed by 10 p.m. Helen understands the importance of sleep, especially with such a demanding job. Without adequate rest, she knows she can't perform well at work the next day, and she values having enough sleep to wake up refreshed. Helen's routine is an excellent example of how structure can help you manage even the busiest of days. It's not just about working hard, but also about creating time for relaxation, personal time, and family. Her routine reflects her priorities: work, health, and family, and that's what helps her stay productive and focused. Now, let's take a look at Richard, a high school principal. Richard's day is also packed with responsibilities, but his routine has evolved over the years to help him stay on top of everything. Richard's day starts at 5 a.m. He's an early riser, and he uses the first hour of his day to focus on himself. Richard likes to meditate and journal in the morning. He believes that starting the day with mindfulness sets the tone for the rest of his day and helps him handle the challenges he faces as a school principal. At 6 a.m., Richard prepares a quick breakfast. He usually has a smoothie made with fruits, spinach, and protein powder. After breakfast, Richard spends about 30 minutes reviewing emails and preparing for the day. He makes sure to check his calendar for any important meetings or events. By 7 a.m., Richard is ready to leave for school. His commute is about 30 minutes, and during this time, he listens to podcasts or audiobooks to continue learning and staying informed. When Richard arrives at school, his day begins with a meeting with the administrative team. The first couple of hours are spent discussing school operations, addressing any concerns, and making sure the school is running smoothly. After this, Richard spends time walking around the school, checking in with teachers, students, and staff. He's very hands-on in his approach and believes that staying visible in the school is important for building relationships with both students and faculty. Lunch is often a quick affair for Richard. He usually eats in his office while reviewing school reports or making calls. His afternoons are filled with meetings with parents, teachers, and other staff members. As the principal, Richard plays a key role in making decisions about school, policies, organizing events, and managing school projects. Even though his day is long, Richard finds time to interact with students and teachers, which he finds rewarding. By 5 p.m., Richard is done with his meetings and administrative duties. However, his workday doesn't end there. After school hours, he often meets with the Parent-Teacher Association, PTA, or works on school initiatives. His evenings are usually spent reviewing student performance, discussing school improvements with his team, and preparing for the next day. Richard's family life is equally important to him. He ensures that after work, he spends quality time with his wife, Jane, and their children. They enjoy going for evening walks together or playing board games at home. Richard knows that it's important to disconnect from work and recharge for the next day. His evening routine includes reading a book before bed to help him unwind and relax. By 10 p.m., he's ready for sleep, and he makes sure to get at least 7 hours of rest. Richard's routine reflects his commitment to his job, but it also emphasizes the importance of balance. While he has a busy schedule, he makes sure to prioritize his health, family, and personal time. His routine shows that success isn't just about working harder, but about managing time wisely, creating space for the things that matter most, and staying organized. Now, think about your own day. How much time do you spend on each task? Do you have a daily routine that helps you stay productive and balanced? It's not always easy to find a routine that works perfectly, but by observing how others manage their time, you can experiment with different strategies to find what works for you. Whether you're a student, a worker, a parent, or someone with a demanding job like Helen or Richard, creating a balanced routine is key to feeling fulfilled and productive. It's not about following someone else's schedule exactly, but about finding your own rhythm and sticking to it. Start with small changes, like setting aside time for self-care, planning your day in advance, or taking breaks to avoid burnout, and see how it impacts your life. As we continue to explore more routines, let's dive into the lives of people with different careers and personal lives. Each story brings something unique to the table. By seeing how others structure their days, we can gather insights and ideas that we can adapt to our own lives, no matter where we are or what we do. It's all about finding what works for you. Let's start with Daniel, a graphic designer who works from home. For Daniel, his routine is centered around creativity and flexibility. His day begins at 7:30 a.m., but unlike many people who feel the need to jump straight into work, Daniel starts his day with a peaceful routine. He makes a cup of coffee and spends the first 30 minutes reading a book or listening to an inspiring podcast. For Daniel, this time is important because it helps him get into a positive mindset before starting work. By 8:30 a.m., Daniel is ready to work. His creative job means he's often working on different design projects, so he needs to be in a focused state of mind. For the first few hours of his workday, he avoids checking emails or social media. He knows that distractions will only break his flow, so he saves those tasks for later. He starts with the most important project of the day, which could be designing a logo, working on website layouts, or brainstorming for new ideas. During this time, Daniel listens to instrumental music or ambient sounds that help him concentrate. He finds that silence can be distracting, so the music creates the perfect environment for his creative work. Around 11:30 a.m., Daniel takes a break. He might go for a walk outside to clear his head, or do a quick workout to keep his body active. Exercise is important to Daniel because it helps him stay energized and focused throughout the day. He believes that physical activity fuels his creativity, and after a workout, he always feels more ready to tackle his next project. By 12:30 p.m., Daniel has lunch. He prefers making simple, healthy meals at home, like a salad with chicken or a sandwich with whole grain bread and vegetables. During lunch, he also makes sure to take a break from screens. This time away from the computer allows his eyes to rest and gives him a chance to refuel. After lunch, Daniel usually spends the afternoon catching up on emails or doing less demanding tasks. This could include communicating with clients, responding to feedback, or organizing his design files. Although he enjoys his creative work, Daniel knows that these smaller tasks are essential for keeping everything organized and running smoothly. Around 3 p.m., Daniel often takes another short break. This could be a 10-minute stretch, a cup of tea, or just a moment to check in with friends or family. As the evening approaches, Daniel's workday slows down. He makes sure to stop working by 5 p.m., as he knows the importance of maintaining a balance between work and personal life. After finishing work, Daniel enjoys spending time with his wife, Emma. They might watch a movie, cook dinner together, or just relax and talk about their day. Daniel believes that this time helps him recharge and stay connected with his loved ones. Before going to bed, Daniel likes to read for 30 minutes. This helps him wind down and prepare for a good night's sleep. His routine is simple, but it works for him because it focuses on balance and productivity. By organizing his day in a way that allows him to be creative, while also taking care of his body and mind, Daniel is able to maintain a successful and fulfilling career. Now, let's talk about Linda, a nurse who works the night shift at a local hospital. Linda's routine is quite different from Daniel's because she works at night and has to adjust her schedule accordingly. Linda's day starts at 4 p.m., and her first task is always making a healthy dinner. She knows how important it is to eat nutritious food to keep her energy levels up, especially since her shift runs through the night. Her go-to meal is often something like grilled chicken, brown rice, and steamed vegetables. Linda likes to take her time with dinner because it's one of the few moments she has to relax before her shift begins. After dinner, Linda spends some time getting ready for work. She makes sure to pack everything she needs for her shift, including a healthy snack to keep her going during the night. Around 5:30 p.m., Linda heads to the hospital. During her drive, she listens to an audiobook or podcast to pass the time and help her stay alert. By the time she arrives at work, she's ready to take on the challenges of the night shift. Linda's shifts start at 7 p.m., and she works with a team of nurses and doctors to care for patients. Working in the hospital requires a lot of focus and quick decision-making, so Linda is always on her toes. She checks in with the doctors and other nurses to go over the patient's needs and reviews medical records to stay up to date on her responsibilities. Her job involves a lot of physical activity, like moving patients, administering medications, and monitoring vital signs, so she makes sure to take short breaks throughout her shift to stretch and recharge. Around midnight, Linda grabs a quick snack, usually something healthy, like fruit or a protein bar. She knows that staying energized is essential for staying focused. After her snack, she checks in on her patients again, making sure everything is going smoothly. The hours between midnight and 3 a.m. are often the busiest for Linda, as the hospital can be filled with patients needing urgent care during the late hours of the night. At 3 a.m., Linda gets a break. She uses this time to relax for a few minutes, maybe have a hot drink, or chat with her coworkers. This break is a much-needed moment to recharge before finishing her shift. By 5:30 a.m., Linda's shift is over, and she heads home. Once at home, Linda gets ready for bed. She knows that rest is important, even though it's during the day. So, she makes sure her bedroom is dark and quiet. She uses blackout curtains to help block out the sunlight, and she tries to keep her phone away so she isn't distracted. Linda also likes to use relaxation techniques to fall asleep quickly, such as deep breathing exercises or listening to calming music. She gets about 7 hours of sleep before waking up at 4 p.m. for her next shift. Her routine is centered around managing the demands of her work while also making sure she gets enough rest and personal time. Linda's routine is a great example of how to structure your day around a unique job schedule. It shows how important it is to prioritize rest, eat healthily, and take breaks to stay energized, especially when working night shifts. Linda's story reminds us that no matter what type of work we do, it's essential to create a routine that fits our lifestyle and allows us to stay productive, healthy, and balanced. Finally, let's talk about Tom, a retiree who has recently shifted his daily routine to enjoy his newfound free time. Tom's day starts much later than those of Daniel or Linda. He wakes up at 8:30 a.m. Unlike his busy working days, Tom's mornings are slow and relaxing. He enjoys waking up without the pressure of a packed schedule. After getting out of bed, Tom likes to take his time with a leisurely breakfast, often making toast with jam or a bowl of cereal. After breakfast, Tom enjoys reading the newspaper or catching up on his favorite books. He loves learning new things, so he spends the next few hours reading and expanding his knowledge. Around 11 a.m., Tom goes for a walk in the park. This walk helps him stay active and also gives him a chance to enjoy the fresh air. Tom likes to walk at a steady pace, enjoying the sights and sounds of the park. He often meets other retirees during his walk, and they enjoy chatting about life and sharing stories. By 1 p.m., Tom is ready for lunch. He keeps it simple, often preparing something like a sandwich or a salad. After lunch, Tom spends the afternoon working on his hobbies. He has recently taken up painting, and he enjoys spending several hours each day in his art studio experimenting with different colors and techniques. Tom finds painting to be both relaxing and fulfilling, and it's become one of his favorite activities. In the evenings, Tom likes to unwind by watching the news or having dinner with his wife, Sarah. They enjoy talking about their day and spending quality time together. After dinner, Tom sometimes visits with friends or goes out for a social activity. By 9:30 p.m., Tom is ready to wind down for bed, knowing that a good night's sleep is crucial for staying active and healthy. Tom's routine reflects how retirement can offer the opportunity to focus on personal passions and hobbies. His day is flexible and centered around activities that bring him joy, like painting and spending time outdoors. His story highlights how important it is to maintain an active lifestyle, even after retirement, and to create a routine that supports personal well-being and happiness. From Daniel, Helen, Richard, Linda, and Tom, we see how different routines can help people manage their lives effectively. No matter the career or stage in life, establishing a daily routine can improve productivity, focus, and balance. It's all about finding what works best for you, whether that means waking up early to get a jump on the day, taking breaks to stay energized, or creating time for hobbies and relaxation. These real-life stories show that routines don't have to be rigid or stressful. They should be tailored to your individual needs. Take a moment to reflect on your day. Are there areas where you could make small adjustments to improve your routine? Whether you're working a 9-to-5 job, studying, or enjoying retirement, having a balanced routine can help you feel more in control of your day and lead to a happier, more productive life. As we continue to explore daily routines, let's consider even more diverse lifestyles. From busy professionals to retirees, each person's routine can offer unique insights and inspiration. By looking at how others structure their day, we can discover strategies that fit our own lives and make our routines more manageable. No matter what stage of life you're in, having a balanced and organized day can help you stay focused, healthy, and productive. Let's start with Jack, a high school teacher. Jack's day begins at 5:30 a.m., a little earlier than most people's. He likes to wake up early to get a head start on the day, especially since teaching requires a lot of preparation. Jack begins with a cup of coffee and some quiet time. He enjoys reading educational articles or reviewing lesson plans for the day. This early morning quiet time helps him gather his thoughts and plan for the busy day ahead. By 6:30 a.m., Jack is ready to start his day. He gets dressed in comfortable yet professional clothes and eats a quick breakfast, usually some cereal with fruit or a smoothie. After breakfast, Jack heads out the door to catch the bus to school. His commute is short, about 20 minutes, and he uses this time to listen to an audiobook or a podcast to make the most of his time. When Jack arrives at school, he immediately gets to work. The first part of his day is spent preparing for his classes, making sure all the materials are ready, and reviewing the lesson objectives. Jack teaches a variety of subjects, so he needs to stay organized. For example, today he's teaching an English class, and he's focused on helping his students improve their writing skills. Jack finds teaching to be incredibly rewarding, but it also comes with its challenges. He has to keep his students engaged, especially during early morning lessons when they're still waking up. By 8 a.m., Jack's first class begins. His students arrive, and he quickly transitions into teacher mode. His classes are a mix of lectures, group activities, and individual work. Jack encourages his students to express their ideas and opinions, which helps them develop critical thinking skills. During this time, Jack is on his feet a lot, moving between students and helping them with their assignments. Teaching requires a lot of energy, so Jack makes sure to stay hydrated and takes breaks when he can. After his morning classes, Jack usually has a short break. He uses this time to check emails, respond to any urgent messages, and catch up on school-related tasks. By 12 p.m., it's time for lunch. Jack likes to bring his own lunch, usually a homemade sandwich or salad. During lunch, he enjoys chatting with his colleagues about various topics, from lesson ideas to personal interests. This break helps him recharge and refocus for the rest of the day. In the afternoon, Jack continues teaching, and his classes run until 3 p.m. Afterward, he spends time grading papers, planning future lessons, and meeting with students who need extra help. Even though his workday is technically over, Jack doesn't leave school until around 5 p.m. The teaching day is never really finished because there's always something to prepare or review for the next day. But Jack finds this part of his job rewarding because he sees his students improving over time. When Jack finally leaves work, he heads home to unwind. He enjoys a light dinner, usually something simple like pasta with vegetables or a stir-fry. After dinner, Jack likes to relax by watching a documentary or reading a book. He also takes time to catch up with his wife, Emily, about their day. They enjoy discussing everything from their work to their hobbies. Jack values this time with Emily because it helps him wind down and feel connected after a long day. Before bed, Jack likes to spend a few minutes planning for the next day. He writes down his to-do list, checks his calendar, and prepares for the morning. Jack believes this helps him sleep better and wake up feeling more organized. By 10 p.m., Jack is in bed, ready to get a good night's sleep so he can do it all over again tomorrow. Jack's routine shows how important it is to create structure and balance in your day. Despite the demands of his job, Jack finds time for both productivity and relaxation. His routine is a great example of how to maintain energy, stay organized, and make time for personal connections, even in a busy work environment. Let's shift gears and talk about Rachel, an entrepreneur who runs her own small business. Rachel's routine is different from Jack's because she has the flexibility to set her own schedule. However, she also faces the challenge of managing all aspects of her business. Rachel wakes up at 6 a.m., which gives her a head start on the day. Her morning routine is a bit more relaxed than Jack's, as she doesn't need to rush to get to work. Rachel begins her day with a healthy breakfast, often consisting of oatmeal with fruit or avocado toast. After breakfast, she spends about 30 minutes doing yoga or stretching. Rachel finds that starting the day with exercise helps her focus and feel more energized. She values taking time for herself before diving into her work. By 7:30 a.m., Rachel is ready to start working. Her workday typically involves managing her online store, responding to customer inquiries, and working on marketing strategies. Rachel is passionate about her business, so she enjoys the variety of tasks she faces every day. One day, she might be designing a new product, and the next day, she could be planning a social media campaign. The work is diverse, which keeps it interesting for Rachel. Around 10 a.m., Rachel takes a short break. She uses this time to check in on her friends and family, maybe send a text message or make a quick phone call. Social connections are important to Rachel, so she makes sure to stay in touch with her loved ones even while she's busy with work. After her break, Rachel dives back into her work, focusing on the more demanding tasks. She often works on her laptop for several hours at a time, analyzing sales data, planning future products, and handling customer orders. Rachel enjoys the freedom that comes with owning her own business, but she also knows it requires a lot of discipline and time management. By 12 p.m., it's time for lunch. Rachel likes to keep it simple, often making a salad with grilled chicken or a smoothie bowl. She believes that eating healthy helps her stay focused and productive throughout the day. During lunch, Rachel takes a break from work and enjoys some quiet time to herself. This helps her reset and stay energized for the rest of the afternoon. In the afternoon, Rachel typically spends time working on marketing and customer outreach. She might create new content for her social media accounts or reach out to potential collaborators. Rachel enjoys brainstorming creative ideas and working on projects that align with her business values. At 5 p.m., Rachel usually finishes work for the day. She likes to unwind by going for a walk or meeting up with friends for coffee. This time helps her clear her head and recharge. She also values having a work-life balance and makes sure not to spend all her time on her business. At 7 p.m., Rachel enjoys dinner with her husband, Mark. They often cook together and talk about their day. In the evening, Rachel spends time relaxing, reading, or watching a show. She tries not to work too late, as she believes in the importance of getting enough rest. By 10 p.m., Rachel is in bed, ready to wake up and do it all again tomorrow. Rachel's routine highlights how important it is to find a balance between work and personal time, especially when you're running your own business. Her story shows how a flexible routine can still be productive as long as you stay organized and focused on your goals. Now, let's talk about Chris, a freelance writer. Chris's daily routine is highly flexible because he works from home and sets his own hours. He wakes up at 8 a.m. and enjoys a relaxed start to his day. His morning routine includes a hot cup of coffee and some quiet time to read or write in his journal. This helps him focus and get his thoughts in order before starting his workday. By 9 a.m., Chris begins his workday. As a freelance writer, Chris works on a variety of projects, from creating content for websites to writing blog posts. Each day brings new writing challenges, and Chris enjoys the variety. He spends the first few hours of the day writing and editing his work, making sure everything is polished before sending it to clients. Around 12 p.m., Chris takes a lunch break. He likes to cook simple meals at home, like a vegetable stir-fry or a quinoa salad. During lunch, he also takes some time to relax and step away from his computer. After lunch, Chris spends a few more hours working on his writing projects. He may also use this time to research new topics or brainstorm ideas for future articles. By 4 p.m., Chris has finished his major tasks for the day. He uses the remaining time to check his emails, respond to clients, and update his website or portfolio. Although he enjoys the flexibility of freelancing, Chris also knows that staying organized is key to keeping his business running smoothly. At 6 p.m., Chris wraps up his workday and enjoys some downtime. He might go for a jog, meet a friend, for coffee, or spend time with his wife, Laura. Evening relaxation is important to Chris because it helps him clear his mind and stay balanced. By 9 p.m., Chris is ready to unwind and relax. He often reads before bed, as it helps him fall asleep faster. His daily routine may vary depending on the projects he's working on, but he always makes sure to balance work, exercise, and personal time. Chris's routine shows that freelancing can offer a lot of freedom, but it also requires self-discipline and time management. He finds success by staying organized and prioritizing personal time to avoid burnout. Like Rachel's routine, Chris's day is a mix of flexibility and productivity. Each of these routines, Jack's, Rachel's, and Chris's, offers valuable lessons on managing time, staying organized, and balancing work and personal life. Whether you're a teacher, entrepreneur, or freelancer, creating a routine that suits your needs and goals can help you stay productive, healthy, and happy. These real-life examples show that no matter what kind of work you do or what stage of life you're in, building a routine that works for you is key to leading a balanced and fulfilling life. Let's take another deep dive into daily routines, exploring how different people structure their day and how these routines can inspire us to manage our time better. The variety in routines shows that there is no one-size-fits-all approach. What works for one person might not work for another. But by learning from different lifestyles, we can find inspiration to improve our own daily habits. Now, let's talk about Sarah, a software engineer. Sarah's day is a mix of problem solving and creativity. And while her job can be very demanding, she has found a routine that helps her stay productive and energized. Sarah wakes up at 7 a.m., which is later than some other people, but works for her because she tends to be a night owl. Her morning begins with a warm cup of tea, which she sips while sitting by her window, enjoying the quiet of the morning. This peaceful time allows her to clear her mind and prepare for the challenges ahead. By 7:30 a.m., Sarah heads to the kitchen to prepare a healthy breakfast. She enjoys making a smoothie or having a bowl of oatmeal with berries. Breakfast is important for Sarah because it gives her the energy she needs for the day. After eating, she takes a quick 20-minute walk around her neighborhood. This walk helps her get her blood flowing and sets a positive tone for the day. Sarah starts work around 9 a.m. As a software engineer, her work involves writing code, troubleshooting, technical problems, and collaborating with her team. Her job can be mentally taxing, but Sarah loves the challenge. She enjoys the feeling of solving problems and creating something that will make life easier for others. However, to stay productive, Sarah knows she must pace herself throughout the day. Around 11 a.m., Sarah takes a short break. She steps away from her computer to stretch, get some fresh air, and maybe grab a light snack. These small breaks help her stay focused, as she knows long hours of staring at the screen can lead to burnout. After her break, she returns to her work, tackling a few more coding tasks before lunch. Lunch is usually around 12:30 p.m. Sarah prefers to keep it light and healthy, often making a salad with grilled chicken or a vegetable stir-fry. She likes to eat something nutritious that will keep her feeling energized for the rest of the day. During lunch, she likes to listen to a podcast or watch a short YouTube video on a topic she's interested in. Whether it's related to work, after lunch, Sarah spends the afternoon working on more complicated tasks. She might be fixing bugs in her code or working with her team on a new project. The afternoon can sometimes be intense, but Sarah knows that staying organized and focused is key. She uses tools like time blocking to structure her day and ensure she stays on track. Time blocking is a method where you dedicate specific blocks of time to specific tasks, and it helps Sarah avoid distractions. Around 3:00 p.m., Sarah takes a longer break. She'll go for another short walk or do some light stretching to clear her mind. This helps her avoid feeling fatigued during the final stretch of her workday. Sarah knows that taking breaks throughout the day is essential for keeping her energy up and maintaining her focus. By 6:00 p.m., Sarah is finished with work. While her workday technically ends, Sarah knows that in tech, projects often require extra time and attention outside regular working hours. So sometimes she will need to jump back into a task later in the evening. However, on a good day, Sarah makes sure to log off by 6:00 p.m. This gives her time to unwind and enjoy some personal time. For dinner, Sarah often cooks something simple and healthy. She enjoys making homemade soups or stir-fries, but on some nights she treats herself to something a bit more indulgent, like pasta. After dinner, Sarah likes to relax by watching a show or reading a book. Her favorite books are mystery novels or biographies of influential people, and she finds that reading before bed helps her unwind and prepare for sleep. Before bed, Sarah spends some time reflecting on her day. She writes down anything that's on her mind in a journal or uses an app to track her goals. This allows her to clear her head and organize her thoughts before going to sleep. Sarah tries to avoid using her phone too much in the evening, as she believes that the blue light from screens can affect her sleep. By 10 p.m., Sarah is ready to go to bed. She has a solid bedtime routine that helps her get the rest she needs. She likes to keep her bedroom dark and quiet, which helps her sleep better and wake up feeling refreshed. Sarah knows that getting enough sleep is essential to maintaining her productivity and overall well-being. Sarah's routine is a great example of how finding balance is key. She has learned how to take care of her mental and physical health, which in turn makes her more productive at work. Her story is a reminder that even in demanding fields, it's possible to find a routine that allows you to be successful without sacrificing your well-being. Let's now shift gears to talk about Tom, an architect. Tom's routine is structured but flexible, as his work involves both office time and field visits. Tom wakes up at 6 a.m., which gives him enough time to start his day without feeling rushed. Like many people, Tom begins his day with a cup of coffee. He enjoys a quiet moment with his coffee, sitting at the kitchen table while reading the newspaper or checking emails. By 7 a.m., Tom is getting ready for work. He dresses in a smart casual outfit, as his job requires him to be presentable both in the office and on construction sites. He believes that dressing well helps him feel confident and ready to take on the day. After getting ready, Tom grabs a quick breakfast, often consisting of eggs, toast, and a fruit smoothie. Tom's workday begins around 8 a.m. when he arrives at the office. As an architect, his day typically involves a mix of designing plans, meeting with clients, and coordinating with contractors. He loves being able to create new buildings and spaces that people will use every day. For example, one of Tom's current projects is designing a new community center. He's excited about the project because it will provide a valuable resource to the community, and it's a chance for him to be creative. Throughout the morning, Tom has several meetings with his team, clients, and contractors. Communication is essential in architecture, and Tom is always focused on making sure everyone is on the same page. He uses tools like CAD software to create designs, and he often spends hours refining these designs to make sure they meet the client's needs. Lunchtime is usually around 12:30 p.m., and Tom likes to step away from work to clear his mind. He often meets a colleague for lunch, either at a nearby cafe or in the office cafeteria. They'll discuss everything from work to personal life. Tom finds that these small breaks help him reset, especially when working on complex projects that require a lot of focus. In the afternoon, Tom spends more time on design work or meeting with clients to present ideas and updates. He enjoys the process of collaborating with others and finding creative solutions to challenges. For example, recently, Tom had to redesign part of a building to accommodate a larger space for a new gym. The challenge was figuring out how to maximize the space while maintaining the building's aesthetic appeal. By 5 p.m., Tom usually finishes work for the day. However, if he's working on a deadline or if there are any urgent tasks, he might stay late. Architecture can sometimes require long hours, especially when projects are nearing completion. But Tom tries to balance his workload by managing his time well and keeping a clear schedule. In the evening, Tom enjoys spending time with his wife, Lucy. They like to cook dinner together, and sometimes they invite friends over to enjoy a meal. After dinner, Tom likes to unwind by taking a walk or watching a documentary about design and architecture. These activities help him relax and give him new ideas for future projects. Before bed, Tom spends a few minutes reflecting on his day and thinking about what needs to be done tomorrow. He believes that taking time to plan helps him sleep better and wake up feeling prepared. By 2 p.m., Tom is usually in bed, ready to get a good night's sleep. Tom's routine demonstrates how structure and creativity can go hand in hand. He balances the demands of his job with time for personal relaxation and reflection. His story highlights how, even in a field that requires a lot of concentration and detail, it's important to take breaks, prioritize personal time, and maintain a healthy work-life balance. Through the stories of Sarah, Jack, Rachel, Chris, and Tom, we can see that each person's routine is unique. However, they all share common themes: the importance of starting the day with intention, managing work tasks effectively, taking breaks to avoid burnout, and making time for personal connections. By learning from these different routines, we can adapt aspects of them to fit our own lives and become more productive and fulfilled. Let's continue exploring different routines that can inspire us to build our own, focusing on people from various professions and backgrounds. Each story brings a different perspective, and the way they balance work, personal life, and self-care provides valuable lessons. Whether it's managing time, staying organized, or finding ways to relax, these routines are examples of how people successfully navigate their busy days. Take John, for instance. He's a marketing manager at a fast-growing tech company. John's day is a blend of creativity and strategy, and every morning begins with a sense of purpose. He wakes up at 5:30 a.m., a time he's chosen because it allows him to start his day quietly before the world gets busy. John doesn't like to feel rushed, so waking up early gives him the time he needs to set a calm tone for the day. He uses this time for self-reflection, often journaling for a few minutes or meditating, which helps him clear his mind and prepare mentally for whatever challenges lie ahead. By 6:00 a.m., John is usually making a light breakfast. He enjoys oatmeal with fruits and nuts, and sometimes he'll have a cup of coffee while he reads the news or catches up on industry trends. Breakfast is a quiet time for him to ease into the day. He's learned over time that starting the day without stress makes a big difference in how he feels for the rest of the day. After breakfast, John heads to the gym for a workout. Physical. Exercise is a priority for him, as he believes it helps clear his mind and keep him energized throughout the day. Around 7:30 a.m., John heads to work. His commute is short, usually taking about 20 minutes by train. He listens to podcasts or audiobooks during this time to make the most of it. He's not the type to mind the commute because he uses the time for personal development. Once at the office, John immediately dives into his work. His role involves overseeing marketing campaigns, managing a team, and collaborating with clients. He's learned that staying organized is key, and he keeps a detailed calendar to manage his meetings and deadlines. One of his most important tasks is strategizing for upcoming product launches. So much of his day is spent brainstorming, planning, and creating content. At 12:00 p.m., John takes a break for lunch. He likes to eat a balanced meal, often opting for a salad with grilled chicken or quinoa. During lunch, he prefers to disconnect from work and spend time with his colleagues. He believes that taking breaks is important for maintaining focus in the afternoon. A quick walk outside after lunch also helps him stay active and clear-headed. John's work can be intense, especially when deadlines are approaching, but he's learned to manage his stress by taking these small breaks and ensuring he has time to reset during the day. In the afternoon, John has more meetings and works on refining marketing strategies. He regularly checks in with his team to discuss ongoing projects and offer feedback. John is always looking for ways to innovate, and he enjoys the creative aspect of his job. He thrives on coming up with new ideas that will engage customers and push the company forward. Around 3:30 p.m., he typically takes a second break, either getting a coffee or stepping outside for some fresh air. He believes that taking these mini breaks helps him stay focused, especially as the afternoon can often feel like a long stretch. By 5:30 p.m., John is usually wrapping up his workday. However, if he has ongoing tasks, he might stay a little longer to complete them. John's job often involves working late during busy periods, especially when there's a big project deadline or a product launch. However, he makes sure to plan his evenings carefully so he doesn't burn out. When he leaves the office, he heads home, ready to enjoy some downtime. Evening routines are just as important to John as his morning habits. He usually arrives home around 7:00 p.m. and makes dinner. John enjoys cooking and often experiments with new recipes. Cooking is a way for him to relax and unwind, and he sees it as a creative outlet. After dinner, he spends time with his wife, Claire. They enjoy watching a documentary or catching up on their day. John believes that spending time with loved ones is important, especially when work can sometimes be stressful. He makes an effort to disconnect from work once he's at home, ensuring that his evenings are about relaxation and quality time. Before bed, John spends some time planning for the next day. He writes down any tasks he needs to complete and sets his priorities. He finds that having a clear plan helps him sleep better and wake up with a sense of purpose. Around 10:00 p.m., John heads to bed. He believes that getting a good night's sleep is crucial for his productivity and well-being, so he avoids screens for at least 30 minutes before sleeping. Instead, he reads a book or listens to calming music, which helps him wind down and relax. By 10:30 p.m., John is asleep, ready to take on another busy day. John's story shows how important it is to have a routine that works for your unique lifestyle. His combination of early mornings, exercise, breaks, and quality time with loved ones creates a balanced approach to managing both work and personal life. Even though his job can be stressful, John has found a way to keep his energy levels up and stay focused throughout the day. His story is a reminder that while work is important, self-care and balance are just as essential. Next, let's take a look at another person, Emily, who works as a teacher. Emily's job is demanding, and her daily routine involves a lot of interaction with students and colleagues. Her day begins at 6 a.m., and like many teachers, she starts early to prepare for the day ahead. She enjoys having some quiet time in the morning before the school day begins. Emily's morning routine includes making a cup of coffee, sitting at her kitchen table, and reviewing her lesson plans for the day. This helps her mentally prepare for her classes and gives her the chance to organize her thoughts. Emily heads to school by 7 a.m., making sure she arrives early to set up her classroom and get everything ready for her students. She believes that being well prepared allows her to start the day on the right foot and creates a positive atmosphere for learning. Her day is filled with teaching lessons, grading papers, and meeting with colleagues. She's passionate about her work and loves seeing her students succeed. However, teaching can also be tiring, so Emily has developed ways to stay energized. Lunch is typically at 12 p.m., and Emily likes to spend it with her colleagues. They often talk about their students, share teaching strategies, or discuss personal matters. This time gives Emily a break from the classroom and helps her feel connected to others. After lunch, Emily continues teaching, often leading discussions or organizing group activities. Her day ends around 3:30 p.m. when her students leave. But her work isn't done yet. Emily spends a couple of hours after school grading assignments, preparing for the next day, and meeting with parents if necessary. Even though Emily's job is demanding, she makes sure to take time for herself in the evenings. After a busy day at school, Emily enjoys taking a walk or doing some light yoga to relax her body and mind. She then has dinner, often preparing a simple meal like grilled chicken or a vegetable stir-fry. Evenings are her time to recharge, so Emily limits her screen time and prefers reading or spending time with her husband, Mark. Before bed, she reflects on her day, thinking about what went well and what she could improve for the next day. By 10 p.m., Emily is ready for bed, knowing that a good night's sleep will help her be ready to face another busy day as a teacher. Emily's routine highlights the importance of being organized, taking breaks, and finding time for relaxation. After a busy workday, her ability to manage both her teaching responsibilities and her personal life serves as an inspiration for anyone trying to balance work and self-care. Her day demonstrates that, with a clear plan, you can thrive in a demanding job while maintaining a healthy work-life balance. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed hearing about the daily routines of John and Emily. Their stories show us how important it is to have a routine that balances work, personal life, and self-care. No matter what your job is or how busy you are, there's always a way to organize your day to make it more productive and enjoyable. Remember, developing a routine that works for you is key to staying focused and energized throughout your day. It helps to take care of your physical and mental health while also staying on top of your responsibilities. If you found today's Ibis at Ifa episode helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and share this podcast with your friends or anyone who might benefit from it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the English Pod community for more episodes designed to help you improve your English every day. We upload new content regularly, so there's always something fresh to learn. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.